So wrap up our fourth net meeting in company history. Man, can't wait for the 5-year anniversary. What is that, like silver or 10? 10? I think it's 10. No, 10 is 10.
10x.
10, 10. Yeah.
All right, guys, let's do this thing. So we got some fire messages to wrap this thing up. Who here has gotten some from Net today? Absolutely. All right, guys. So a couple things. We are going to be our first speakers. We're going to be introducing today are going to be Luke Mills and Adam Conroy. Who here has ever done a service event? Sweet. Who here would like to have more people come to their service events? Who here would like to sell more at their service events? All right. So I think this is one of the biggest needle movers that we all have the opportunity to take advantage of. Right? Because the cool thing is we're all doing events, which means we're going to all add a ton of customers and we're going to serve them in a high capacity. Service events is the way of the future, okay? So the cool thing is they unrolled it last year, and we kind of all were a little bit of guinea pigs last year just figuring them out. So I'm really excited to see what they have to say. So you want to bring up Luke first?
Yeah, so first up, we're going to bring up Mr. Luke Mills. You know him. You love him. He's the archetype of the Cutco dad. He started back in January of 2008. He's over $2 million in Cutco career sales, but you probably already know that. Some fun facts about Luke. He completely debt-free in 2013. He bought his house in 2013. He has 3 gorgeous and joyful children. I can personally attest that they are very joyful, or at least talkative. He hit the Cutco Hall of Fame in 2015. And he is right now working with Josh Muller to grow one of the premier coaching programs, mentorship programs in the company. So if you're looking for someone to make you better, this guy right here. And it was really cool. So whenever we asked in our speaker bios, like if you had like a cool story that just kind of like relates to the topic, Luke was like, "No, I don't." And then finally. He's so famous for the family pizza nights. If you don't follow him on Snapchat, you definitely need to do that. So let's give 2 claps and a Ric Flair on 3 for Mr. Luke Mills. 1, 2, 3. Woo! Love it.
All right, baby. Adam Conroy, get your booty up here, baby.
Let's go, Adam.
Let's go, Adam. All right, a couple things about Adam. The one and only. I'm really excited to hear from Adam. So Adam has sold $1.4 million worth of Cutco cutlery, American-made knives. A couple things, though. Adam had an absolute just roller coaster year this year. He got married. He took a month-long honeymoon, which is awesome. But he had some things that didn't exactly go well. I mean, his mom passed away this year, and the cool thing about Adam, though, is that after all of those things, he still sold $400,000 and had his best year ever. Absolutely amazing.
Let's give a round of applause for that. Like, how amazing. Like, you need to be clapping if you didn't sell 400.
Yeah, geez Louise, nuts, man. Like, so awesome. So, again, he's going to be talking with Luke again on the service event program. So, Adam sold $150,000 at service events last year. Freaking nuts. And he was consistently getting 15-plus people at his events. How many people have had, like, 3 people show up to their service event? You're like, son of a God. Happens to me all the time, so I'm really excited about this, right? He also was able to do this in 2 different territories. So he managed this in Chicago, and he also did this in Phoenix. Okay, so what I love about Adam the most, though, honestly, is like the word excuse isn't in Adam's DNA, I don't think, right? So Adam, if you don't know, he's got an eye condition that's also related to his hearing loss, which actually affects his top-down vision with his customers that he actually can struggle with sometimes. I got perfect vision, and I still make up excuses sometimes. Right? And the cool thing is, after all of the things that Adam's gone through, he still managed to serve his customers at the highest level and take advantage of the service event program. So let's give a big round of applause to both of these dudes.
He's basically the Helen Keller of Cutco, and he's kicking your ass. Let's give it up for both of these guys, and we'll pass over the mics to them.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's always an honor and privilege to be on stage. This is my first time being at NET on stage. I put the vibration with my wife, and 2 years ago, I was like, I want to be on stage. I want to be on the agenda, and it's an honor to be next to this guy who I didn't even know 3 years ago. I moved to Phoenix, and literally, like, who the heck is this Luke Mills guy? Who's a Luke Mills fan, by the way? And I'm just incredibly blessed to be on stage here tonight or today, and just really fired up about service events. It is one of the reasons that I've been able to grow my business 20 to 40% the last 2 years, each year having my best year ever. And I'm just super grateful that, hey, buddy, you came out with the innovation, and I want to talk about that a little bit. When I first heard the idea of service events, I remember 2017 in the summer. Literally, Luke goes, "Yeah, we should rent out a hotel and start sharpening some knives and sell Cutco there." And I'm like, "We're gonna pay money to sharpen Cutco knives." And and literally, he goes, "Yeah, man, it's gonna be great." And I was like, "Okay, cool." Kind of just tucked that one away. And a week later, he did 5K in one day. First ever event with Dak Duran. And I go, well, all right, I'm in. I'll figure this out. And literally, I go, well, if Luke Mills can do it, I can do it because obviously I'm better looking. And Dak Duran, I'm definitely better looking at. And literally 3 weeks later, I go, Jamie Zimbroff, hey, we need to bring this to Chicago. Never did event, never watched the event, didn't even know what the heck I was doing. We booked a hotel after the Illinois State Fair. I only had 100 clients in the area, and I said, let's just direct schedule people from the State Fair, and let's make this happen. Literally, we're setting up the booth, first ever service event. Took us 5 hours to set up the booth. We're like, we got to move this, we got to do that. It's 1:30 a.m. and we're still setting up. And it was so funny because I recruited 2 people to sharpen the knives, and literally, it was a pardon my French, but a shit show. And the guy that I was training to sharpen the knife still didn't know how to do it after an hour. So you ever see like birds flying into the window? Boom, boom, boom. That was me. But we made it happen. I remember the first walk-in that we had. Lady goes, "Can you sharpen my trimmer?" And it was one knife, literally no teeth on it at all. And I go, "Ma'am, we got to get you a new one. I'm so glad that you came." She goes, "You got to sharpen it. I can't live without it." I was like, "Ma'am, it's so dull. I can't do anything. I got to send it in." And she walked away while I'm trying to close an order. And then I had a lady literally no-show the event, first event ever. She goes, I called her. I was like, "Hey, are you lost?" And she goes, "I'm not going to a hotel room without my husband." And I'm like, no. It's a conference room, not my personal hotel room. And so that was my first service event, 2,500 for that event. Jamie Zimbroff took to trust in me and said, "I'll do it with you." And I'm so grateful, Jamie, wherever you are, that you did that. You did 75K in service events just last year, mentoring with me. You had your best year ever in 20-plus year career. Service events are real, and we're excited to give you guys the goods. And so when I think about service events, I wanted to relate it to what it's like to be a part of like a championship Super Bowl. We got the Super Bowl coming up here, right? And shortly in a couple days. And when I think of service events, I think of key events that are self-made, literally by us, representatives for our customers during the week. I think about $5,000, $10,000 days during the week, which fires me up because I was like, well, I want to work less weekends. I want to work less evenings. And I love service events because it's a platform for premier service. It's a branding tool for my business that leverages why they should work with me. And I love service events because it literally is the easiest way to sell Cutco. Literally. And when I think about service events, I think about there's formulas that you need to have with service events. And, Luke and I wanted to make this message fun because it's the second to last message on the agenda. So while we're going through some of the goods, we just want to make sure you guys are paying attention. If you find one thing you want to implement from this talk, or you hear something that you're fired up about doing, I want you to say, I found a nugget. Or nugget.
Nugget.
All right, let's make this fun. Luke, I just want to say I appreciate you. It's been an honor to watch you become a family man growing your business. He's one of the most efficient people in the business. And what I love about Luke is he's always finding ways to make things more efficient. And that's why this program started. And he has a $600 average order literally in every area of his business. And it's because he has the focus of how can I maximize every customer, every time with every package. And Luke, I just so much appreciate you. And I wanted you to start off the meeting with, or the talk with, the process of returns, the most exciting part of the message.
Well, thank you, Adam. And thank you guys. This is going to be a mullet talk. A little business in the front, party in the back. So we have to talk about the ever so exciting process of returns. So to begin this, we're going to make this short, simple, and sweet. We have a little packet for you. And in here, it does include the process of returns. I'm just going to go through this real fast. And the truth is we got to put a little bit more effort into this. You know, taking some grocery bags, throwing some knives in there, and just praying really, 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 really hard that it gets to New York and back to the customers on time just isn't working anymore. So with this, we just made it very simple. You can use this, give it to your team, review this at your service event meetings beforehand. This is going to allow everyone to be on the same page. And this is just going to share with you guys what has helped us minimize so many different challenges when it comes back to sendbacks in our division. You know, I've heard so many different horror stories, you know, from the people at the factory being scared of like reaching into the boxes because the knives aren't wrapped up, to having, you know, just a story this weekend from someone who a package didn't make it to New York and they have no idea whose customers' knives were in there. They have no idea what was sent back or anything. And so this is just a really cool tip page to help you minimize and not have to go through all those different painful aspects, as well as give you the power to serve your customers at a really high level. So at this point, we got the complete guide for factory returns. Just gonna go through this real quick. Customer fills out the service request form when they enter. Again, just another cool delaying tactic, and give them something to do. From there, we have a designated, the designated rep is what we recommend, does the knife inspection. So I know some people have given their knives off to someone. We highly recommend that you do it yourself only because your customers trust you more. It gives you more control. And this sets you up so that you can actually, while you're inspecting them with the customer, point out some of the problems or challenges that some of their knives have, right? Veggie knife has chips and dinks in it, then this gives you an opportunity to, hey, this is why we have the Hardy slicer. This is how to properly use it. From there, it gives you the opportunity to separate it. If there was one tip I would give you to organize the knives on this, it's the buffet food trays. Like at a buffet, like, you know, those plastic trays or what you get at like high school lunches or whatever. Amazon.com, keep these together. It keeps the knives organized. You're not walking around like Edward knife hands, like when you're trying to go from one part of the room to the other part and you're just hoping no one like turns around real quickly or bumps into you. But this will actually keep all the knives together. When you do this, it actually separates into on-site sharpening and factory sharpening. By the way, Vast Action, we do love their service event package, and it comes with labels for each of those different trays. So just to throw that out there, that's what we use. We really enjoy it. Skipping down just a little bit, one of my favorite things under number 4 is that after the knives have been bagged, sheathed, and everything, that the service request form is then scanned with a phone scan app and emailed immediately at that moment to the rep and to the customer. Now there's a digital copy, a little digital receipt that no one has to worry about paperwork or anything, and it's all done for you. Obviously, there's time frame. You got all that stuff. Essentially, the biggest thing here is that being more prepared before you go into the service event is going to help minimize more problems. This means we come with boxes ready to go, so the knives aren't just congregating all wrapped up in the corner somewhere only to like have no idea what to do with them. All you have to do is just have a box, put them in there, they're all properly organized. I mean, heck, you just tape an ARS tag in there that's available for pre-purchase. Thank you, Dave Bush and the entire events team for having that available now.
Woo!
And with that, everything's just boxed up. You know, at the beginning of the event, we just tape an ARS tag to a couple boxes. The knives get put into the boxes as they're ready to go. And we already have a designated assistant who's gonna drop them off either that afternoon or the next day.
Nugget.
Literally just as simple as possible, and no more letting the knives sit in the car for 5 days, a week, or something like that before they get taken back. So now that the most exciting part of the message is over, I'd like to pass it over to something that I highly recommend taking notes on. If you have ever wondered, how does Adam fill 15 plus customers on every event? I'm tired of setting up an event, only have 2 or 3 people show up, to have cancellations, reschedules, no-shows. How the freaking heck did Adam, who had less than 100 customers in Arizona, consistently sell on every single service event and sell over $50,000 in Arizona on service events alone with less than 100 customers? This is gonna help take out all the excuses. This is gonna help pave the way. If there's something that's gonna move the needle in your business, it is what Adam is about to share with you right now. We've received so many questions. Hey, how much in career sales should you be at for service events? How many customers in an area should you have? I don't have that many customers. I don't service that area a lot. I service them too much. All these different things. The reality is it's not a career sales benchmark. It's not a number of customers benchmark. It is a commitment benchmark. So if you take good notes on what Adam is about to share with you right now, and you are willing to commit to the actions it takes to get people in the door for your service events, regardless of what you're at career sales, regardless of how many customers you have in the area, you will turn this into one of the biggest and best layers of your business. Now, the hardest part of this is the first year of doing it. But when you do this, you get better and better, just like the other events. But imagine that instead of making a call after a call to book service call after service call, which, by the way, those are still the pixie dust of this business. You sprinkle them in when you need it. But the reality is that after a year or so, service event program will be a set it and forget it program. Imagine instead of having to book the same, make a call to book a customer every single year for a service call, that with service events, it's like booking a service call, and then you just automatically have that service call in your schedule every year, year after year after year. Like literally one of the most systemized and organized parts of our business. Love it. We got the nuggets starting rolling. So just so you guys know, Adam, I love you, dude. If you guys want to know about growth, if you guys want to know how ingenuitive and innovative this man is, 2015 went from 127,000, 2016, 210,000, 2017, 323,000, 2018, with getting married and different life challenges and in a new territory, sold over $408,000. If there was a time to take some notes, it would be right now. And if you haven't met this dude, you gotta meet him. Yeah, and you're looking for a mentor, this guy is the guy to talk to. So if you guys would all just join me in just giving Adam a big round of applause for making you all lots and lots of money this year.
Thank you, thank you. Let's dive in. Let's talk about winning a championship. You know, the Super Bowl this weekend, and I wanted to use an analogy for what I talk about. Getting every freaking appointment full, every single event, every time. And when you think about a Super Bowl championship team, you think about the offense. You think about the defense. You think about the special teams. You think about the coaching staff. You think about all these components, the formula for winning the championship. Hey, I don't like the Patriots, but I respect the Patriots. They're going for their 6th Super Bowl literally in 16 years. They have a formula. And so the formula is really simple, guys. That's what I want to share with you guys. It's the components of literally filling every appointment every time, every service event. And that's this. So many of us reps, we play offense. We play, I'm going to send an email, I'm going to send a text. On the handout, you'll see that the first two components of filling every event is those two things. Those are super important. But I'm here to tell you, don't just play on the offense. Don't be Drew Brees and the Saints. You're not going to win a Super Bowl. Be like the Patriots. You know, emails and texts are great and they work, but that's not the only thing you do for service events. I work so many events, and it's embarrassing to see the same rep every time I work together. They have 5 or less appointments. And then I have a full day and I need their help with my clients. Don't be that rep. Don't just play offense. And so what do I mean by that? Well, if you think about a championship team, the defense is what wins championships. So on the handout, you'll see that there's an email, subject lines that are catchy. Those are great. When it comes to texting, definitely use a mass texting platform. One of the things I wanted to share with texting that's not on the handout, or I want to highlight that's important, is the gratitude approach in your texting. When you text someone for a service event, you'll see that we have some verbiage there that's really good. Thank you, Luke, for coming up with that. And one of the things about the mass texting that's important is you want to come from a point of gratitude or value. So many of our customers are trained to, hey, do you need service? Do you need service? Do you need service? Why don't we change that to, how about I appreciate you and then I offer service? So here's a way to do that. So you send a mass text that says, thank you so much, Judy, for trusting me to take care of your Cutco service needs and helping you with your kitchen experience. Forever grateful. Hey, by the way, please reply yes if you got this. I just want to make sure I have the right number. And then they reply yes. And then you have an auto text response in your texting base that says, hey, awesome. Hey, by the way, we have a sharpening event coming near you. Didn't know if you needed service, but please click this link. I want to make sure I take care of you. Feel free to pass this to a friend. You get a free piece of Cutco when they show up. The other way that you can approach it is a value. Hey, thank you, Judy, for your trust with your Cutco needs over the years. I want to share my top 3 things on how to keep your knives sharp, or how to use the cookware, or these are the recipes I recommend for this time of year. By the way, my phone's been acting up. Please reply yes if this is Judy. And then they reply yes. And then you do the same auto response. Okay, so that's texting. Now, let's talk about playing defense. Here's one of the biggest things that I've done these last 6 months that really increased my sales. Not just fill the appointment, but I personally call my top 5, 10 clients every time. These are the 5 clients that if you know they show up, you just doubled your event. I don't care if you have to send smoke signals out. Find a way to get a hold of these people. And you have the best relationship. You have the rapport. It's your business. If you call these people, these are your most likely people that buy a lot of Cutco, and these are your most likely people that refer you. Even if they're not interested in the service, every time you get a one-on-one response with them, yes or no, then you offer the referral bonus. And so when you personally call your clients, you'll find that you get people out of the woodworks that haven't been responding to your email, to your text. The reality is, guys, is 40 to 60% of your database isn't responding to your email or text. So you have to do something different if you want different results. And the thing about phone calls is I don't like making them, so I only call my top 5, 10 top clients for that area, and then I delegate 2 to 4 hours every event. I delegate 2 to 4 hours of every event to my assistant who calls the people that don't have email, the people that we don't have their cell phone. And we're getting people that way. And then you don't stop there, guys. How to play defense like a championship football team is you're intentional with your playmaking. And so you want to create some fumbles, interceptions, sacks. Here's how you do that in the service event world. You direct schedule people in advance. All your traditional events you're currently working, you have service events set up months in advance that you can just plug and play people into. I just did a show in Chicago this weekend where I literally don't have an event until May. And I'm like, well, we're going to be doing 5 different areas. Go ahead and jot down your name, cell phone, email, and zip code. I'll make sure that you get to the event. Would you prefer morning or afternoon? And then I literally confirm a time, and I say, I'll let you know about the venue and the location as it gets closer. And then I just plug them into Acuity once the event's booked. You know, if you don't have a lot of clients in that area that you're doing an event at, then wait a couple events to do that service event. Otherwise, do service calls. And one of the things I realized is if you're proactive with direct scheduling, every event you work deserves a service event at some point. That's how you can maximize your events without having as many local clients to that area. So direct scheduling in advance is super important. In Arizona, this month alone, 3 shows I've worked, I've scheduled 15 clients for February 15th. And I don't even have that many clients in that area. It's called being proactive. You get an interception in football by studying the opponent. Your opponent is the schedule you're working. So know your schedule. Figure out what dates you can work your service events. The other thing is voice drops. Those are like sacks. You know, you don't always get a sack every game. But voice drops are great because those 40 to 60% of the people you're not reaching via email or text are going to respond if they're interested. So you set up a voice drop with fast action. Literally 3 steps. Record a voicemail. Turn your phone on airplane mode when the voice drop drops. Literally at 10 a.m. next Tuesday, turn your phone on airplane mode. Have a pre-recorded voicemail that says, hey, I just wanted to let you know we have an event, blah, blah, blah. Here's the time. Here's the date. Go to cutcoservices.com to schedule whatever your website is. That's not mine. I just made that up. And then text text service to my cell phone. And literally, you have people that schedule based on your voice drop. That's another component of direct scheduling that you can take advantage of. And then there's Facebook. Literally, Facebook is the strategy that's underutilized. You set up your event 2 to 4 weeks in advance on your business page. You get your client to like it, share it, tag their friends in it, literally. And you direct message the event invite to each client that you're Facebook friends with. Even if they can't make it, you offer, hey, if you know anyone that could use service, or like Brandon Brown says in his talk on Monday or Tuesday, you know, who came on board with Cutco when you bought your Cutco? Which family members, which coworkers bought Cutco with you? Hey, by the way, you get a free piece of Cutco if they show up to the event. And it's amazing how many people want free Cutco. And then they bring their friend, and now you have a 2-for-1 appointment. So the Facebook strategy is really important. And if you're wondering, how do I get my clients to a Facebook page? It's really simple. On your value email, you do a drawing where they get entered into a drawing for every time they like the page, post a review. 2 to 3 times a year, I have a drawing for them to go to my Facebook page. And now they're getting free marketing on my page. And then the last thing I wanted to share is double booking your appointments. Literally 1 to 4 items or less, you should double book that a slot. They're highly unlikely to buy as much Cutco as someone that's got a block set. We still take care of them the same way, but here's the deal, guys. You're there for a certain amount of time. you want as many people there as possible that you can service at a reasonable level. And so on your Acuity, which is the online scheduling platform we recommend, you have a question that you have required questions. If you want my Acuity, email Adam at 3 words, ourkniferep.com, and I'll send you the link. Adam at ourkniferep.com, and I'll send you my Acuity, and it's literally required question. How long have you had Cutco? How did you get introduced to Cutco? They have inherited Cutco. If they have gift Cutco, they bought it at Costco, they bought it from you, they have a representative. This is all information you want to know so that you know if that appointment quality is there. And then one of the required questions is, do you own individual knives, block sets, flatware, cookware? And they have to check each box that they have. So now you know in advance what type of customers are coming to the event and what type of customers you can double schedule, double book. Huge, huge for my business. And so those are some of the things that I have time for to share, but it's not just playing offense, guys, it's playing defense. It's the voice drops, it's the direct scheduling in advance using multiple events, it's the Facebook strategy. There's a lot of different ways. And so, Luke, I wanted you to share, you kind of went through when is it appropriate to start service events, but what's the mission of service events?
The beautiful thing about service events is that this is opportunity to build an amazing layer in our business to serve Cutco, ourselves, and especially our customers. We're going to wrap up here with the one aspect that I get a lot of questions of, and that is just simply, how the heck do I sell more on service events? So if you want 4 quick tips, this is what it is. Sales is sales is sales. It's no different than being on an appointment, being at a show. All you have to do is just remember that it's easy. It's Cutco, and these people love it more than anyone. All in all, have fun, make people feel special, add value, identify problems, and solve it with Cutco. It's as simple as that. Just because it's a new program to you doesn't mean you have to learn something completely over again. Number 2, every package, every customer, every time. You make this commitment, and your business will prosper. Number 3, be the freaking expert. I can't tell you guys how many times I watch at service events, reps get steamrolled by their customers. It's just amazing. When you take your car to the mechanic, do you tell them how to fix it? What the heck? Like, a customer shouldn't be telling me that if they cook every day and the galley is a good fit for them, like, they can tell me that they feel happy and that they don't have any knife problems, but it's my job to tell them that they're wrong. Miss Jones, you never grill or barbecue? You know, one of the biggest challenges this galley set is that it doesn't have any of the real meat knives. So really want to be doing you a favor of getting you the right pieces to the right job, because when you have those pieces, you'll notice that these other knives stay sharper longer. So I'm going to show you the set that most of our customers prefer. It's our customer requested set. Not only does it come with the pieces you use every single day, but it actually nicely organizes all your utility knives, your veggie knives, and your meat knives. It even has a spot for your scissors and a couple extra steak knives. Number 4, and this is what's going to wrap us up here, is assumptive, suggestive selling. Be armed for every possible situation. Ask yourself the question, how do you sell an upgrade to someone who is happy with their galley set? Probably bought it 6 months or a year ago, happens to be at your service event, and there's not a single chip, ding, scratch, anything on there. You don't have anything to go off of. The reality is that you can assume that they're using the wrong pieces for the wrong thing. You can assume that even though it's a good set, they're probably only using 1 or 2 knives out of the set every day anyway. And this is giving you the proper assumptions and suggestions to make their life easier and better and happier. So if you're not asking how often are you cooking, and on a scale of 1 to 10, how much are you enjoying it, then you're really missing out on being the expert. Get to the point where you can build trust and they can value your expert opinion and listen to you when you're telling them that an upgrade bundled with cookware along with flowers in their best interest today. Guys, this is a huge opportunity to take it to the next level. I'm really excited to see who's going to have the opportunity to give this message next year, and I'm excited to see what is to come from this program.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.